So my name is Jasmine Vaughn-Hall. I'm the diversity inclusion reporter and also the trending reporter at the York Daily Record. I've been in York, PA for almost 5 years, actually. This summer, it'll be 5 years. My hope for the community as, we celebrate Black History Month is just that I hope that people understand that you can introduce yourself to a different culture and diverse histories any day of the year. It's great that we have these specified months, but I hope that it empowers people to know that they can do this any day. And it's something that you should want to do. You should want to know about different cultures and communities and just educate yourself in that way. I think the community can better embrace the growing diversity in the city. One, by not ignoring that it's happening, because it really is happening. You can't really turn a blind eye for that. But I think the main thing is just sort of making and fostering, these different opportunities and circumstances that, continue to promote that growth. Inclusiveness is a big thing. Everyone should feel like when they go downtown that, they belong there. And just making sure that people know that even if they don't see somebody who looks like them, who they are is still welcome and appreciated and celebrated in this space. So I hope that, downtown York continues to be that environment for people. There is a lot of history here in York. Even just having a brief conversation with Jim McClure, you're in a huge just realm of different stories and history that's here. And not a lot of people know about it, but people are walking through it every day. Even just looking at some of the buildings and just signage and stuff like that. It says it like clearly on there about a specific history, but I think because it's just so part of everyone's day-to-day, it gets overlooked. So I think it's always important to just uncover the history of where you live. I, recognize and celebrate my cultural identity in a few different ways. I think through my job is one, way that I didn't realize till recently. Just being able to actively use my voice on a platform, and also just being able to connect with other people, not necessarily just people who look like me. But I think, empowering other people to just identify with themselves and use their voice. Maybe they don't have, the same platform as I do, but I think that's one way that I connect with, just my identity. And obviously my family too. I think my family is always reminding me of who I am. And I think that's a real big part of my cultural identity is just grasping every part of who I am and continuing to grow through that. I think some of my main goals as the diversity and inclusion reporter is really just representation. I think all communities should be able to open their local newspaper and feel like they're represented there and their stories are being told and the problems that hinder their lives are also being put on a platform so that they have the ability to get solved. I think I have a few different inspirations. Personally, obviously my mom, I think she's probably one of the most coolest women I know, and I might be a little bit biased, but I just feel like she's overcome a lot. Being a police officer in LA for quite some time, and really just owning who she is. She's a big inspiration. Don't tell her that because she'll want to kiss and hug and all that. As far as writing, I really love Lavia Ajayi. She's really just she makes people accountable. She holds people accountable, and she's really open with just her dialogue. As far as York, I feel like a lot of young people, it's a long list. There's a lot of young people here that really inspire me because they're really invested in the community. And I feel like their drive has really inspired me to want to be a part of the community beyond just my job. And really just making those connections and just seeing, how this place can change. In 2020, I published my first book called Umbrella for Every Storm, and it's a collection of original quotes that I wrote. So probably dating back to when I was in college. I've been out of college for a little bit, and it talks about, love, grief, life. It's really just relatable quotes that you could use in different parts of your day-to-day or in your life in general. Right now, it's available on Amazon because I self-published, and it's also available at Ironic Coffee Shop on West Philly. So I definitely want to write my life story, like my memoirs. Like I said, my mom was a police officer, my dad was a police officer, my stepmom was a police officer, and my stepdad was a police officer. So it's just an interesting upbringing there. So I definitely want to put out just my memoir someday. And I do actually want to release another book of original quotes with a specific angle. I want it to be geared towards Black women and uplifting, just each other.